Alrighty, guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for ReZero Season 2, Episode 3? 4? Shit! I think it's 4. It's 4, sorry. Okay, now that I'm remembering numbers, yeah, so we had last episode a lot of information about the various witches, which I apologize for last episode not entirely getting them all down right away and having them for the discussion, but I do have them all written down now, so that way, we can. I'll probably go through it in the discussion because as I was writing them down, I noticed some interesting stuff in the way they described it throughout the episode. So, yeah, so look out for that in the discussion after this video, where I'll talk about that. But either way, we also had the trial coming up. They made it to Sanctuary, and now they're trying to get out of Sanctuary. We had Amelia try to go in and do the trial. She passed out, and since the Witch of Greed gave Subaru permission to do the trial, he was able to go in after her, which shocked everybody surprisingly because he isn't half blood or whatever, right? So yeah, I'm really, and he woke up in the past. That's right, with his dad, or seemingly in the past. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this is all about. So yeah, guys, let's jump into this episode and see what happens this time. Alrighty, so we are gonna start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. He seems this crazy ass dad. He seems to still have his personality though. Not personality, but maybe. Jesus, one hell of a relationship. His mama or sister? Mother, I think. It's sometimes really hard to tell in anime. She doesn't look that old, but I think her height is what tells us. Yep, okay. Peas! A forest of green. Today is... They're making me love his parents, but we know what we saw in the opening, or that one ending. All foods that are tiny and round. I love his father already. I can't even stand to look at it. Make him try it. They ate it. Is he getting flashes from the other life? Or did this actually happen in the past? Tick, tick, ticks? No more ticks? What? Hmm. Oh. Does he get, like... Interesting. Like, really bad anxiety about going to school or something? Hmm. Whoa, pretty! Cherry blossoms. I think that's what those are anyway. Such a pretty place. Pride and joy. Pride and joy. Yeah. Huh. No one really addresses the pain, it seems like, right? Like, he actually looks like he's in pain. You would think they would say something. But just the act of him walking away is what they addressed, I think. I don't know. I just loved his dad's reaction. He was so disappointed. Okay, they do see the pain. His dad just didn't really, like, quite address it. Even though he did say it's something he has to deal with. Hmm. Is this part of the dream that keeps asking? Amelia? Hmm. Keeps asking that. Yeah. What a great dad. Keys Day. Those mean eyes you got from your mom. Heartbeat. Amelia. I have no idea what's happening, by the way. Oh. Flashes. Does he remember everything now? Yeah. Aw, and now cut to bad shit. We did cut, but... Okay, not yet. Even younger Subaru. Huh. Troublemaking kids. Damn. Just constantly being compared to his father and stuff. He did the same intro as he does in the other world too. Hmm. Damn. Hmm. Oh. Rem. From zero. Oh. Father headbutt. That was an axe kick. Oh man, roller coaster here. Yeah. Hmm. Oh man. Oh. Damn. Damn. What an interesting episode. I'm so worried. Uh... hmm. 3 months since he's been in school, or is this a jump cut? Okay, no, never mind. It's 3 months since he's been in school, I think. Huh. What? What's with mayonnaise in this show? Hmm. Interesting. Hmm. She has a very interesting way of talking, I feel like. The way she, like, stretches some words out, I feel like. Hmm. What? The mayonnaise! Why is it always the mayonnaise? Hmm. Yeah. Oh, shit. Hmm. Alright. So much Subaru development. Aw, saying goodbye. Okay, so what was that opening bit then? Because it doesn't seem like anything happened to them. But I'm gonna friggin' jinx myself, because we're gonna, like, jump cut to them both being dead or something here in, like, 2 seconds. Hmm. Hmm. another another interruption on his way to school. Jesus. He's never gonna get there. Aw. Oh. Wait, what? Damn. That was the last thing she said to him before he left and wound up in the other world, it seems like. Man. It makes me wonder what Amelia went through, if Amelia went through something like this. Unless she just went through what we saw in the OVA. Oh, there she is. Interesting. Interesting. Whoa. Wait, is that it? God, that's it. Ah, damn it. I wanted to see what he would have said about that. uh... Is this the same that we had before? I feel like this is different. So is this the actual ending now? We had the opening as the ending before, and now this is the actual ending? Jeez, that was a very long episode once again. It's so weird that these episodes are longer. How does that work in... Maybe this show isn't aired on Japanese TV. Because usually most anime are pretty close to the same exact time because they they have time slots on TV, you know, but this one is consistently like 5 minutes longer than the rest or something. How do they get away with that, I wonder? Interesting little outro thing there. Alright, so that is the end of episode 4, guys. Man, what a fascinating, like, episode. It delved a bit into Subaru's parents and stuff, which I thought it was gonna be, like... I guess I don't really know what I expected. I thought it was just gonna be his past, and based off the old opening we got, I thought we had scenes where he was in his, like, house or apartment or whatever that area was with all his figures and stuff, and there was, like, someone who looked like his father, like, dead on the floor or something. So I thought we were gonna get some kind of, like, tragedy story about, like, something happened to his parents and he became a shut-in, and we were gonna see all that, like, past stuff going on, and maybe he'd be reliving that trauma, so we'd have the same Subaru that we know, but he'd be reliving this trauma, and he has to, like, get over it in order to pass the trial. That's kind of what I thought we were gonna get, but we ended up getting, like, this, like, it started with him not remembering, but the past of him, like, becoming a shut-in, but then at one point he remembers everything through it, and then he just starts, like, moving on with his life, I guess, from whatever, like, bothered him in the past. And it's very interesting because it's a mix of, like, how he was in the past, and then he realized who he was, and then we had current Subaru just kind of talking to, like, his ghost parents, where it seemed like it started with his actual parents and maybe stuff they actually said, but then moved on to things that, like, might not have, like, actually happened, you know? And it's just, like, a weird kind of situation where, you know, it went from, you know, like, past stuff to just made-up stuff, you know, as it went on, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it was just not at all what I expected, but it was very, like, heartwarming, and I found myself, like, very emotional going through it with them. So basically it seems like from a young age he was given these expectations to live up to his father, and I don't know what made his father such a big deal. It seemed like there was a lot of people in Subaru's life that really looked up to his father, because everything that Subaru accomplished, they said, you know, he's definitely your son, you know, or even some of the bad stuff. So I think, like, Subaru's dad might have been a troublemaker, but then ended up being successful in a way, you know, because it seemed like even when Subaru was doing bad stuff, like breaking into the school pool with all his friends, they still said, like, just like your father, you know, and he couldn't escape the shadow of his father, and he kept feeling like he had to live up to those expectations. So he said, like he was saying during the episode, he kept doing bigger and bigger things, you know. He won the race, and everyone compared him to his father, and then, you know, he realized he started doing worse at running, so then he started doing other things, and then those other things, he needed to top that in order to keep going forward, you know, and he just started, like, developing this part of himself that, you know, obviously isn't exactly the most healthy, but yeah, very interesting. And now, I don't know for sure if what I even said is accurate, right? Like, I don't know if Subaru, or if his dad, like, was a troublemaker. Like, I don't know how much of it, you know, but we saw him, like, doing normal stuff being compared to his dad, and then doing bad stuff, like breaking into the pool, and then he did, like, I think it was the chalk thing that you draw the lines on a baseball field. I think that's what it was. I think he used that and just scribbled all over the road, it looked like, running down the road with his friends, and stuff like that, and then it would cut to, like, the people saying, just like your father, you know, so it's very interesting when someone's like compared to their father that much and they can't escape that shadow, because I don't personally like fully get that, you know, like every now and then I'm compared to my parents and stuff like that, like, and I can understand where like Subaru's anxiety and stuff builds up from, but um the pain that Subaru was feeling, I wonder if that was like a way to visually show us his anxiety, because it was like, I think it was something where he knew he should be going to school, but then he's skipping out, and as soon as it gets to the point where it's too late for him to go to school, his anxiety calms down. And I think like that's why the seconds leading up to it, he was like, you know, holding his chest and not doing good, and then it passed that, and then it acted up again. I'm not sure why it acted up again, but then he said like usually it's better by now. So that's like, that's something he was used to, is that leading up to that like 8 o'clock time or whatever it was, he'd get that anxiety. And I definitely, like, I don't know if it's anxiety, I could be wrong, it could be something else, but I definitely understand that kind of anxiety, because I have a lot of anxiety issues myself, and it was never that crippling where I was like visibly in pain, you know, but there was even times where when I was younger, I'd skip school, I'd, you know, fake being sick, the typical kid stuff to get out of going to school, and I would always be worried, like, I'd always have that, like, sick, like, I'd be faking the sick, like, oh, I don't feel good, you know, kind of stuff, all the way up until it was time to, like, until I'd normally be, like, getting on the bus to go to school or something. And then as soon as that time passes, that feeling of needing to put on this persona and stuff like that would fade, and that anxiety would fade, because then I know like I'm in the clear. Okay, I can't go to school now, you know. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of moments of anxiety in my life where the thought of doing something just eats at me and eats at me nonstop until I do it, and then once it's over with, I just get like the biggest relief, you know. But yeah, so I don't know if it's anxiety, but it definitely seemed that way. Definitely like it seemed like a familiar feeling that I was getting from Subaru that I've experienced in my own life. So it was definitely a very interesting episode, because I felt like I was going on this like anxiety ride with him, you know, like he was talking about how like he was trying to live up to his dad's not even his dad's expectations, everybody else's expectations of, you know, him being the son of this guy, you know, and that overwhelmed him, so he, you know, became more of a shut-in. He skipped school, you know, 1 day a week, and then he said it snowballed from there, where he skipped 2 days, and then every other day, and then he just stopped going entirely. And I can understand how, like, how that can, like, snowball out of proportion and stuff like that. So, and kind of, like, how Subaru got to the position he was at season 1, you know? You kind of see how he was before, you know, Rem had his whole talk with him and they started over from zero and everything like that. You can kind of see where his personality comes from that first season. So that was really cool. But it's definitely just like, it's just it was a very visceral experience for me, because the whole time, I mentioned it a couple times, the whole time I expected to see that opening scene of his parents dying. I thought there was some kind of trauma. So the whole episode, you know, I was falling in love with his dad. You know, his dad was amazing, and his mom was good too, but his mom was kind of weird. I think it might have been the way she talked, but even some of the stuff she said, like, it almost seemed like the father was supposed to be the motivation, and in this dream, the mother was supposed to be the, like, like, it almost seemed like the mother and father was other parts of Subaru. Like, the father was the part of him saying, go forward, move on, you know? And then the mother was like, well, you could just put it off and not go, you know? Why do you have to do this? You don't have to do this, you know? Because it was that one line that really got me where she was like, you know, he was all ready for school and he, you know, sorry for the squeaky ass chair, apologize. But yeah, and she was like, oh, why go today when you could just put it off and go tomorrow, you know? Or whatever she said. It was something along those lines. And I was like, why would a mother say that? Like, it definitely seemed like there might have been a little bit of Subaru, like, in this trial bleeding out into his mom's personality. And I feel like that made her seem a little more off than she might normally be in the real world, you know? She definitely was, like, a lot of things she said that was, like, very nice, but it was also the way she talked. It was like she drew out some of the words that she said, you know? I don't know if it's the way the voice actor talks, if this was something intended for the show, right? Like, squeaky ass chair, man. I can't stand it. It's weird because I have times where I try to make my chair squeak to like annoy my friends on Discord and stuff like that, and it just won't do it. And then like there's times like this where I'm trying to talk and it's just like whatever. But anyway, I don't know if the mom was trying to do something like that, like the writers wanted the voice actor to do that, or if that was just the way the voice actor talked and it just came off that way, you know. But it felt like ominous the way she talked, you know, like it made me a little bit uncomfortable. It reminded me of like the way like a villain would talk, you know, or something. But I don't know, it was strange. Let me know what you guys think about the way the mom talked. Am I just crazy in that feeling that I got? But yeah. And then the ending bit with him showing up at the school and the witch being there, the Witch of Greed. That's interesting because now I can understand the witch sending him on a trial, which puts him in like a tough situation that he needs to conquer. And then when he makes it to the end, she appears. I completely understand that, but she was actually like in that world, and that makes me wonder like, what does she think of that, right? As a witch that has lived in this fantasy type world, what does she think like seeing the world of Subaru's memories? That's like one of the most fascinating things to me about this whole episode, even though it shouldn't be. I don't know why I'm so hung up on it, but I just can't stop thinking like, I wonder what the Witch of Greed thinks of seeing like this school, this modern, like, assuming she saw outside of that one room she was in, but she was, like, in the school uniform, which is, all of that must be so much different from her world. Now, that must mean that she either one, she doesn't, like, she believes it's, like, imaginary or something, and this is all just a part of Subaru's head, but I don't know, like, I can't imagine that, like, that seems stupid, like, does that mean she would have to have known about these other worlds, like the world Subaru came from, before Subaru was pulled here, before, you know, and all this? Like, is she just aware of, like, various different dimensions or something? Like, oh, that's so fascinating. Like, that's what I want to know more about. I want to, like, I don't know if they're gonna mention it. I wonder if Subaru would mention, like, what do you think of this place? Why aren't you surprised at this, you know, city that we're living in? But I don't know. That's some interesting stuff. But man, there's so much to unpack in this episode. But I do still, I think I'm gonna call it on that for the episode. But I am gonna talk about the witches real fast, which I have them all up here written down right now. So here, let's move this onto this monitor so that way I can be kind of looking at the camera and not at my other monitor. Because it was some interesting ones. So we have Daphne, the Witch of Gluttony, created beasts that defied the will of God to save the world from starvation. Now, before I read all of these, I want to point out that a lot of these witches, most of what they did, except for Satella, seems like good motivations, but maybe poor execution, which makes it seem like I had a theory last episode that maybe these witches weren't that bad and the Witch of Envy was the one that made them all seem bad. It definitely seems like they each had their own vices, but a lot of them it seems like they did good things in a sense. So I wonder why they're so hated. And I think it's only maybe because the Witch of Envy is the one that made everybody like hate the witches. And maybe before the Witch of Envy killed them all, they were good. You know, they weren't even looked as bad. They were like helpful and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's. I'm gonna kind of briefly go over these because I could probably talk a lot about this, but yeah. So for some reason, Gluttony made the beast to try to save the world from starvation. Now, if Gluttony is the one that made the white whale, I wonder how that was supposed to save people from starvation, or was that like did the Witch of Gluttony make the Maybeast? That's what I'm wondering. Or did she make other stuff, right? Did she make like a bunch of cows so they had meat to eat? And then when when Envy killed them, she like gained that power to create beasts or something, and then made all the Maybeasts. I'm not sure, but and then we have Carmilla, the Witch of Lust, who granted emotions to non-human beings in an attempt to fill the world with love, which is fascinating. That's probably the most interesting one out of them all, because is that the source of the like demi-humans in the world? Like all like the talking animals and stuff like that we've seen. Like, you know, we had the oh shoot, I can't remember her name, but during the White Whale there was like that wolf pack of people that helped fight and stuff like that. Like those kind of like demi-human types. I wonder if she's the one that like made like dogs into the demi-humans in order to, you know, fill the world with love or whatever. And that obviously doesn't seem like a real bad thing. Like the demi-humans seem like pretty decent people, you know. For the most part, they just seem like people, you know. Obviously, it might cause a lot of like racism in the world and stuff like that, but yeah. Minerva, the Witch of Wrath, struck people to heal them as she lamented the state of her war-torn world. That once again seems good. It says she struck people to heal them. I don't know what that means, really. Like, that one's way too vague for me to understand. Like, did she, like, have to slap the shit out of people to heal them or something? So it was, like, aggressive but help them? I don't know. But then we had Sekhmet, who's the Witch of Sloth, who drove a dragon past a great waterfall just for a chance to rest. Now that's interesting. Once again, that one's kind of vague and not really... We know that the dragon disappeared, right? The dragon is no longer, like... It used to, like, watch over the town, right? And stuff like that. And now it doesn't anymore. Or something along those lines. Now, I thought Satella was the one that did that, but maybe it was the Witch of Sloth drove the dragon away? Just so Sloth could rest? But, I don't know. That one's, like, once again, another vague one that I feel is vague that we need more information on eventually. And then we have Typhon, the Witch of Pride, out of youthful innocence and cruelty, judge criminals one after another. So, once again, seems like good intentions, but could be seen poorly, you know, someone that is judging criminals, you know, maybe the Witch of Pride didn't have that right. I don't know what, like, if there's any kind of, like, court system in this world, you know, for criminals or anything, but maybe, like, that was out of line for the witch, and that's where, like, that sin comes in, you know. But, and then we have Echidna, sorry, I'm so bad at saying that name, the Witch of Greed, the embodiment of the thirst for knowledge, who has done things she regrets even in the realm of death, all in pursuit of all types of knowledge. So once again, it seems like the Witch of Greed, isn't necessarily a bad person, just has done some things that she might not have wanted to, or might not have, like, thought she'd ever do in order to, gain knowledge. I don't know. Once again, I could be like giving them too much credit. Maybe they're all evil, or whatever. But then the last one is Satella, the Witch of Envy, who killed all the other witches and used them as sustenance while she made the whole world her enemy, the most detestable of them all. So, yeah, the made the whole world her enemy makes it almost seem like the world wasn't an enemy of these witches prior to Satella, but yeah, and she killed all the witches, which I talked about in the last episode, which is something that I kind of forgot about up until now. For some reason I thought like Satella was like the leader of all of these witches and above them, but no, she was on equal terms with them until she killed them all. But yeah, anyway, I think that's all I'm really going to talk about for that. That was one of the more interesting things that I thought of. But yeah, anyways, guys, I mean, going through all those, it's super interesting knowing about all the witches and everything. I'm glad I went through because there were some of those that I wasn't able to, like, comprehend in time. It's like I read them, but going through that list one after another was way too much for me to take without having time to, like, let it settle in my brain. I guess my memory, is just not very good for that initial, like, take-in, but yeah. It's super interesting stuff. I'm really looking forward to the next episode. I really want to know what kind of conversation Echidna, Witch of Greed, is going to have with Subaru here in this classroom, but yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that I didn't get around talking about in the episode because there was just so much to it. But yeah, guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this content. Also, check out my Patreon, where you can see my Patreon exclusive shows, where I'm watching Violet Evergarden and Soul Eater at the moment. The link is in the description below. You can also gain early access for my other shows, but not for this one because I'm watching it as it airs. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my future reactions. Bye!